Okay, another issue that you will be plagued with, I guess is the word, is anxiety within the classroom. I just read some research that talks about the amount of anxiety our children are being raised with, blood pressure issues, and anxiety medication being handed out by the groves because kids are so anxious these days. So, two types of anxiety that I want to talk about just for the purposes of this test plus information I feel like would be beneficial for you in the classroom. Trait anxiety and facilitating anxiety. Trait anxiety is a general pattern of responding with anxiety even in a non-threatening situation. And I'll just give you a good example would be a student who becomes nauseous every time he takes a test. I had a student not long after I started working full-time here at Walter State in an education, 1030. Then it would have been a learning strategies class. Anyway, she was in there, and I remember handing the first test out. She broke out into a sweat and went to the trash can. It was 8 o'clock in the morning and threw up in the trash can and then asked to see me outside. So I walked out in the hallway with her, with the trash can in hand, I might add, and she said she had big old hives all over her face and her neck, and she said, "I just can't touch it." And I said, you can't touch what? And it was the answer key, the Scantron sheet. She could not touch it. She said it just made her be anxious, and I said, "That's fine, you don't have to. Do you want to just write on the test?" And she said, "I would rather write on the test." So from that day forward, anytime there was a test, I never even laid a Scantron sheet down in front of her. I laid the test down, and she would be so nervous that her handwriting looked like a kindergartner's handwriting. Her hand was shaking so bad. That is to the extreme, but that is a trait anxiety. She cannot help it. It's just the anxiety of the situation, whatever that situation is that bothers you. The other type that we want to talk about is facilitating anxiety, and it's the level of anxiety, usually relatively low, but it enhances performance. So it is more of a positive I would look at. An example of a student with facilitating anxiety would be, we'll use Daniel. Every time he ran the 100-meter dash in middle school track, he was always nervous about doing well. And most of the time he ended up a little nauseous or in the bathroom or whatever. But that's a good thing because that gets you fired up, gets you motivated. The facilitating anxiety is not a bad thing to have. It's what happens when you have to stand up before a crowd and you get those little butterflies in your stomach. That's not such a bad thing. It actually motivates you to do better. I have attached a couple of anxiety pieces to this. The Just Breathe is actually talking about using yoga in the classroom and at schools to reduce anxiety. Tell me your reflection. Is there that much anxiety in school today? And if so, why? Text me your answer.